Wow, we are ahead of the game. Okay, so the final dish of the night and our one and only dessert from the General Burgoyne in Great Urswick, peanuts and a pint.
I'm Craig Sherrington from the General Burgoyne in Great Urswick, just outside Ulverston in Cumbria. The name of the dish that I'm doing today is peanuts and a pint, which consists of a chocolate tom jelly with a panna cotta top forming the head and a salted peanut and caramel parfait. The beer I've chosen today is Chocolate Tom because it's a chocolate beer which I'm using for my dessert. The chocolate adds a lot of flavour and depth to the jelly, but the beer also brings a richness and flavour behind it as well. The process of the dish is a Chocolate Tom jelly, which is basically the beer, a little bit of sugar added to that and a little bit of gelatine to set it, and the top is a vanilla panna cotta, which is a milk jelly which is sat on the top to form an actual, looks like a pint of beer basically. And the parfait is a frozen mousse which incorporates salted peanuts, caramel and thyme.
Now I think hopefully as it came through you saw how incredibly fantastic that dish looked. Very, very, very interesting seeing the jelly looking like a really decent pint there. So Paul, I have got a most magnificent array of flavours in my mouth on this one.
Yeah, the reason I went for the jelly to start with there, I really want to see how the flavour of the beer came through on the jelly. Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely superb. I didn't really want to go for the cream on the top because I think that sometimes confuses the taste, but the jelly was superb, absolutely superb flavouring there, can't fault it at all. I think it worked well together. Yeah, the parfait, lovely. Some great flavours coming through, nice crust. I think he's done a really good job. Really good job.
Rufus, I'm feeling that having eaten that, it feels like I've got as many tastes, flavours and textures as if I'd had a main course.
I think it's extraordinary. I don't order a pudding when I'm out, and I don't particularly enjoy beer, but if the person next to me had that and I had a mouthful of it, I would be ordering my own portion of it. I think the presentation, again, is fantastic. The use of the Robinson's beer mat, obviously to win favour with Paul here. But it's just fantastic. And also within it says exactly what it is. And the bite of the peanut in the parfait, that's beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
I think, again, one of the things that we haven't really touched on any of the dishes, because it's all been about flavour and the utilisation of the ingredients. But I think from a skills point of view, there's an awful lot of skill gone into that dish, Paul.
Yeah, it has an awful lot of time, a lot of preparation, and just to put the whole commodity together, I did think the jelly had done phenomenal. So not phenomenal skill with the jelly to pull that flavour through. I don't think there's any of this going to be available later, but it's really worth trying. I really did think that came through incredibly well. Yeah. And if it isn't available later, we can just tell you it was absolutely fantastic. So hey, hey ho, one of those things. All right, so
the inspiration behind the dish was, I can remember going into pubs with my dad as a young'un and him sitting at the bar having peanuts and a pint. So I thought I'd take that and change it around a little bit and come up with a dessert that I have done for it.
I mean, from the minute it came up the stairs, I think it blew us all away.
Yeah, I think on the obviously I went straight for the glass of jelly Tom. He nailed that flavour. It was absolutely superb. Presentation was awesome.
Creativity, the imagination of the dish.
Yeah.
Pulling through the brand, pulling the Robinsons into it as well, which is what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the presentation of that one dish alone, just without looking aside to the parfait at the moment, superb.
I genuinely think it's one of the most exciting desserts I've eaten for a long, long time, anywhere.
Can't find fault.
No.
Perfect. Well executed.
Yeah.
Ambitious. Creative.
And there was humour in it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It showed it had personality, that play.
Every part of it is superb.
When it was put down, I thought, why are they serving a small glass of beer with it? And the clarity of it, so it made the cleanness of it. It was very, very clever.
It's superb.
We entered the competition because we're new to the Robinsons family as tenants, and we'd like to get ourselves out there into the eye of Robinsons and the public and make our name for ourselves with the food that we do.